What's up, guys? In this video, I want to talk about DHEA, or dehydroepiandrosterone, I want to say is how you say it. Could be wrong about that. It's pretty long, and that's why it's an acronym. So I want to talk about that in this video, and I don't really want to go too much over the science of it because, to be honest with you, I don't really know too much about it at this time. I do know the basics of it, but if you're interested more in the science, I will probably be putting up a video on my other channel, subtle plug, supplement channel, putting videos up there on a regular basis. So go over there and subscribe to that channel if you care. If you don't care, then just watch this video because I highly recommend this supplement for, I guess anybody really who's got low energy. So a little bit of background about dehydroepiandrosterone or something. I think that's what it's called. DHEA from now on. It provides hormonal support, right? So DHEA is a hormone that your body produces naturally already. You already have DHEA in your body. This is not like you're injecting steroids or something like that, although DHEA is a steroid and it is on the WADA banned substances list. Now, from what I've read, the results as to whether or not it boosts testosterone are mixed. And it seems to be that it only increases testosterone if you are deficient in testosterone. I could be wrong about that, but what I've noticed, let's talk practically speaking, since I obviously have no idea what I'm talking about regarding the science yet. I will research it in more detail. I just don't really care. It works. I'm cool with that. So anyway, I've been taking it for about 3 weeks, and I really kind of just bought it on a whim when I was back in Cleveland. I was at the store, whatever grocery store, and I went actually to go buy some zinc because I was sick. I might have had COVID-19 or whatever I had. I don't know. I was coughing a lot, and I went to the store and I was just kind of casually looking at all of the supplements there, and I saw DHEA, which I had taken before in the past, and I was like, maybe I'll try that again. Why not? So I grabbed a bottle. I think it was like $7, and it was the 25 milligram, pills, I guess. And I took it home. In the first day, I think I started out and I took 100 milligrams the first day. Now, 100 milligrams is I don't want to say it's a high dose, because from what I've read, there was, I think, a study where people took 200 milligrams for 4 months or something, and they were fine. They didn't there were no, because what's the problem is that it's seen as it's kind of thought of as a performance enhancing drug, right? So there's this whole idea well, if women take it, they'll grow beards, and if men take it, it'll shut down their natural testosterone production. But from what I recall, it does not seem to have any effect on testosterone unless you're low in testosterone. And it's seen more as something that will, and I could be totally wrong about this, will kind of fill in the gaps for what you're missing, almost like an adaptogen. Don't quote me on that. I have no idea what I'm talking about. However, practically speaking, I can tell you that ever since I started taking it, I've noticed, I would say, 2 main benefits, maybe 3. I guess we could classify these as 3. Now, this is very similar to, okay, so the first one overall is that I have way more energy, a lot more, freakish amounts of energy. I wake up in the morning and I am doing stuff all day, and by the time I go to bed, I'm cooking my dinner and I'm pacing around the kitchen because I still have a lot of energy. Now, to be fair, I am also taking adrafinil, right, which is like modafinil, and it's a eugeroic probably, which is a wakefulness promoting agent. It does also keep you awake. However, ever since I added in the DHEA, it is night and day difference. I have so much energy. And the other benefits that I experience from having a lot of energy, or the other benefits, I guess, that I experience from DHEA could potentially be because I have so much more energy. I don't know if all of these things are affected individually, or if it's just the fact that I have more energy and that's just making everything else better. But again, like I said, either way, I don't really care, because bottom line, I paid $7 and my life is phenomenally better in lots of different ways. So number 1, more energy. It's just made it easier for me to do all of the stuff that I need to do. Number 2, and this could be related to more energy, is that I have way more focus, way more focus. And again, like I said, that could be related to having more energy, but I feel like my day has, not that my day has more purpose, but when I wake up in the morning, I'm able to clearly identify what the purpose of my day should be, so that when I go through my day, it's much easier for me to stay on track. So there's that as well. Number 3, I would say, is that there is again, this could be related to having more energy, but there's a sort of antidepressant effect. And let's take antidepressant in the literal sense, right? If you are depressed, what is being depressed? If you are depressing something, you are literally pushing it down, right? So obviously nobody's like, this little pill is not lifting me up, but it kind of is, like, in the figurative sense, right? I've noticed that how to explain this? I just have more, perfect example, right? If you have a messy room, I'm a very messy person. And now that I'm taking it, I make sure to clean my room much more regularly. Why? Because in the past, I have noticed that, like, if I was in a messy room, I just wouldn't care. I'd be like, oh yeah, there's shit everywhere, but like, whatever. I can focus on what I need to focus on, and that's it. I was like the absent-minded professor in that regard. But now it's just kind of so easy for me to pick stuff up off the floor and put it away and hang things up, and my dirty clothes at least, like, all in the same area. And I shave every day now, which I mentioned before, and I credit a lot of that, or that being as easy as it is now, to starting to take DHEA. So I would call that an antidepressant effect, which, if we want to talk about it in literal terms, I would say that it just makes it easier for me to do the things that before I would just be like, forget it. I don't really think it's that important. I'm just going to go on my day without actually doing it. You could argue that shaving every day is not really important. However, since I started shaving every day, it just kind of helps me to, it's just like a nice start to the day. Like, you wake up, you shave, and then you go do whatever you have to do. I like it. And then the final thing is that I've noticed an improvement in my, well, I guess, okay, so the second and final thing is an improvement in my mood. And again, this is, like, I guess, related to all of the other things that I mentioned earlier. Like, is it my mood directly, or is it just that I have more energy and that's putting me in a better mood because of that? I'm not really sure. I don't know. But again, like I said, at the end of the day, I feel much better. My life is better. So, like, who cares? Fucking $7.25, better mood overall, just in general, just better mood. Okay, the final thing is that I've noticed an improvement in my libido as well. You just, I guess the best way to put it is that you're just more interested in the opposite sex. Whereas, like, before, I just didn't care as much. Like, I could kind of take it or leave it. So that's kind of what I related to what I talked about earlier, which is where I believe that it could be possible that your DHEA levels influence other hormones in your body, right? Because, like, as we get older, it's more likely that our hormones will kind of not be in the same proportions as they were when we were younger, which could negatively affect our mood and our attitude, and consequently, like, our lifestyle as a result, because you just don't want to do certain things. You're like, whatever. Also, fun fact, people who live longer have higher DHEA levels, so increases lifespan. I've only lived this one life so far. Haven't died yet, so I can't really comment on that, but that is just an interesting little factoid that I read about in my research. So I am not a doctor, etc., but if you are feeling low energy and you are around, I would say, 30-ish years old, and other than that, you're healthy, it's just that you've noticed you've, like, started to slow down a little bit, highly recommend DHEA. I've been giving it to my dad, I've been giving it to my mom, and the difference that I notice in them is phenomenal. Like, one little last thing is that, I'm visiting home right now, or my parents' house, I guess, and when I come home, generally, or like when I visit them, is I'll give them, I'll have them start taking certain supplements, right? I use myself as a guinea pig, and then I use what works on me on them, with a little bit of research, because they are a little bit older than me, obviously. So anyway, I started giving it to my dad, and I'm working out with him since being back, and I have a 35-pound kettlebell here right now. And my dad is 82 years old, and he is doing a lot of work with the kettlebell that you would not expect an 82-year-old man to be able to do, who is deconditioned and is not, like, does not like work out on a regular basis. Like today, for example, we did 100 swings, 100 two-handed swings with a 35-pound kettlebell, and he did the plank for 1 minute. He did a forearm plank for 1 minute. The man is 82 years old and has not worked out in months, and before that, like does not like work out on a regular basis unless I'm here to like crack the whip over him. However, since giving it to him, noticed a definite improvement. Also started giving it to my mom, but she's already like a little spunkier just naturally. So that is my little spiel about DHEA. Did you find that helpful at all? Have you ever taken DHEA? Do you have another supplement that you would like me to talk about or research or try and give my opinion on? Let me know. Leave me a comment. Next, I might do pregnenolone. I think that's interesting. Let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.